Welcome everybody to a special breakfast edition of Injo's Kitchen. Today we're going to do something really awesome with leftovers. We're going to make latke and corned beef hash waffles with egg on top and a corned beef white gravy. Sounds a little crazy, but that's what we're going to do. This is corned beef that I have made the other day, which we're going to use inside our waffles, in between our layer of potato latke mixture. So we'll put this corned beef aside, and we're going to start here. What I have done here is I have taken 1.5 potatoes, russets, peeled them, Idaho potatoes, and I have grated them through a shredder on the food processor, along with, I'm going to get that raggedy piece out of there, along with a piece of onion. I then used a box grater to grate the shallot as well. So we've got onion, potato, and shallot in here. And with the potato and the onion, I squeezed out the water. We're going to add to this some scallions. We're not going to put all of this in here. There's no too much. Get that combined. Now we need to season this. I'm going to put some salt in here. Freshly ground black pepper. I'm going to use a tiny bit of smoked paprika. You don't need a lot, just a little bit, because that stuff is strong. Just a dash of cayenne pepper. And a little fresh nutmeg. Always traditional in a latke. And you don't need much nutmeg either, just enough. Okay. Get the seasonings mixed in here. I'm just going to put a dash more salt into here, just to make sure it's well seasoned. Okay. Now for this, we're also going to put in here 1 beaten egg. I have just beaten it ahead of time. Stir that in. And then we'll get rid of that roll up there. Give it a stir. Make sure everything is well distributed. Okay. Looks pretty good. And now just to tighten it just a little bit, we're going to use a little bit of potato starch flour. I'm not going to use much potato starch flour, just a little bit. Sprinkle a little bit in here. This is in place of, you would normally use matzo meal. But we're going to use this flour instead. I'm going to put just a little more in here. That's just to tighten it up. You don't need very much of it. And this is not going to be a very wet mixture. It's going to be pretty dry. We'll add a dash more in here. And this will add to crispiness as well. With the potatoes themselves, and we'll get rid of this. Over here. Okay. That's our latke mixture. Now we need to make our gravy. We're going to do first before we cook our waffles, and then we'll fry an egg at the end. Okay, we're going to leave our mixture over here. We'll pull our burner up in front, turn it on, and get it heated hot. We're going to put in here a tablespoon of vegetable oil. This is avocado oil, but you could use something else. And to this, we're going to add 1 slice of corned beef that's been cut up into small dice. actually going to cook this corned beef. We're actually going to render it out. So we're going to let this corned beef cook. And sizzle. Now that it's starting to sizzle, I'm just going to turn the heat down just a bit, because we want to slowly render out this corned beef. And I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab the Irish whiskey, which we're also going to use in this recipe. You can hear it sizzling here, which is a good sign. We're going to put just a tiny bit into our gravy here, just for a little flavor. We're not going to put a lot, and this sauce is going to simmer, so I'm not worried about the alcohol too much here. It smells good. What I also have here is I have a cup of milk, and I have a cup of corned beef bouillon. Corned beef bouillon is unsalted. We're going to adjust the salt ourselves. And for thickening, we're going to use a tablespoon of potato starch flour. Just like we used in our Latke mixture. This doesn't take very long to. I'm actually going to pull out my trivet here, because I'm actually going to pull this off the heat when I put in my potato starch flour, so I can slow the process down. There will be some little bits of fond that generate on the bottom of this pan. That's all well and good, because it's all going to come off when we put our liquid in. Okay. That's about right. I'm going to slide it down here. We're going to add our potato starch flour in here. Sprinkle it in. Okay. We're going to switch to a whisk, because we're going to start to put in our liquid ingredients here. We're going to start with our milk, a little at a time. That's our milk. I'm going to put this back on the heat. I'm going to turn it up to high. And we're going to continue to whisk. And let this milk come to a boil and start to thicken. And then we're going to stream in our other liquid, which is our corned beef bouillon. Okay. Starting to see this come to a boil. So that means now we're going to stir in our corned beef bouillon, which is another cup's worth of liquid. And that's all of our liquid added in here. Now at this point, we're going to put a little salt. Let's put a little fresh ground black pepper in here. And I'm also going to put just a tiny scrape of nutmeg in here. Not much. Just a little bit for its taste. We'll also put a dash of cayenne pepper in here. And a dash of smoked paprika. Excuse me. Okay. Now we have to bring this to a boil. Last thing we're going to stir in, measure out about a tablespoon of Irish whiskey in there. That's enough. Grab our spoon here. Just continue to stir. This needs to come to a full boil. Over here I have my waffle iron and I have it preheated to medium high. And when we come back, this will be at a boil and we're going to drop it to a simmer, and when we come back, we're going to make our waffles. Welcome back to In Joe's Kitchen. This is our sauce that's cooking down, our white gravy. It's over low heat right now, and it looks nice. Put that handle out of the way for now while we bring back our mixture here and our waffle iron. Now we're going to open it up here. We're going to spray our waffle iron. This is Vegeline. This is one of the best non-stick sprays out there. We're going to spray it heavily on both sides of our iron. Okay, just like that. And we do have liquid in the bottom of our mixture here. So we're going to evenly spread out our layer of potatoes. It's important that they're evenly spread out. And that it's a full layer of potatoes, because we have to put corned beef inside. Now we'll take our corned beef. I'm not going to take that much in here. I'm going to take it and put maybe about that much in there. Looks to be maybe 2 tablespoons worth, 3 tablespoons. It's not a lot. And now we'll do a topping of potatoes. Doesn't need to be fully covered because everything's going to get crispy anyways. Now we're going to close the lid. And flip it over and let it cook. We're going to take just a few green onions and place them into the sauce here. Which we're going to shut off now. Perfect. We'll give it one last taste before we say we're done. Next we have an egg. And a little skillet to cook on. We're going to heat this over low heat to start with. And we're going to put our tablespoon of butter in. And just let the butter melt slow. We're not going to need any real tool to do our egg here because we're going to do a lidded sunny side up egg. Now we're going to flip this to look. Yes, we're looking all right, but we still need to get color on it. So we're going to continue to let it cook. Got to get golden brown. That's the goal here with this waffle. This golden brown deliciousness. I have this over low heat just to get my butter melted, and then we'll turn it up to high heat to fry our egg. Excuse me. Get our tool here to extract our waffle. This Vegeline, which is called Gridiron Nonstick Spray, can be found at any restaurant food supply store. Smart and Final carries this, as does Smart Food Service. This is the best product. If you don't have this, you could use Pam or any other nonstick spray, but this stuff is the best. I'm starting to smell this, so I'm going to flip it over and open it up. I'm going to let it go a little longer. On that side there, and it should be fine. Now we're going to turn our heat up because we're going to finish our egg. Turn our heat up to high heat. We are going to need some salt and some pepper for our egg here. So I'll put that over here. Now we're going to flip over our waffle again. And we'll take a look at it here. Needs to cook longer. So I'm actually going to halt my egg process right now. I've turned the heat down, turn the heat off on my butter because we're halting the process here. Because we need to wait till our waffle is fully cooked before we attempt. The light is now gone on, so that's what would normally be a done waffle. But now we need to figure out how to extract this waffle. There we go. We've extracted our waffle. Okay, now we can do our egg. Okay. That's our beautiful waffle. I'm just making one to show you, but I will make one more waffle after the show is over, just to use the rest of our batter up here. We're going to slide our egg in here. And we're going to push our yolk to the center using our little cup that we cracked our egg into. And next we're going to take our lid. We're going to turn our heat down because we don't want this to cook too fast. So I've turned the heat down. We're also going to cover this. I think it's still too hot here, so we'll turn it down. And as we can see here, there's our beautiful egg. We're going to turn the heat off on this egg now. Turn it off. And we're going to season our egg with salt. I'm not going to put any pepper on this egg. I'm going to leave it nicely be. It's all nice and lacy fried. We're going to slide it in the middle of our waffle. And then we're just going to take a little bit of our white gravy. You don't need much. And there you have it. Beautiful breakfast. It's delicious and lovely, hearty, wonderful. That's it for today's special episode of In Joe's Kitchen, where we made breakfast. This is an easy recipe if you have the time and you have leftovers. You could, if you wanted, rather than using this homemade corned beef hash, if you had some out of a can, you probably could use it out of a can, but this homemade stuff tastes better. And one important tip I forgot to tell you about the corned beef hash: it needs to be the corned beef hash where the meat is ground and it just has the dice of potato. You can't use a corned beef where the corned beef is also diced, because it doesn't work. So that's what we have here. Beautiful. And I will see you next time on In Joe's Kitchen. Peace out and keep it real.